No. About to get in the shower, but I thought I'd do a talk first. And I think I might take Mom up into the mountains, into the woods. I like to go into the woods because whenever I come back out, the world is a different place. Nature recalibrates me so that I can show up with whatever I meet, whatever I face, with some serenity within me. Then I can find the humor in things. Learning how to find the humor in things is what has kept me on this earthly plane, so that I can take care of Mom, because ain't nobody else is going to take care of her. I've been asking people for help my whole life. Can someone just make it easier? Help me make it easier to make life easier for her, because it's already been terribly hard for her. Like this, and she still has a smile on her face. That's the thing that is miraculous. Oh, Mom, you still smiling? Want to say hi? Want to wave hi today? That's the wave hi today. Yesterday it was different. Is it bright? There's the lighting on. I was just getting out some yaw-yaws. I already did 3 sets, and I'm sure there will be more sets in my future, because it's Virgo season and it's cleansing season. It's the detox season. And if you notice, the people on the earth that are doing it, you also recognize that, oh, that feels so good. The earth is also cleansing itself. You see things happen in real life, and your first instinct, your brain says, is that's fake. That can't be real, because you don't want to rectify that you just saw hundreds of people, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people wiped off the face of the earth, like just happened in Nepal. What's up? Just like that. People were on vacation, and all of a sudden they look up and they see a wall of water and then meet their maker. It happens all the time, every day. You don't have to end your life and meet a wall of water to meet your maker, though. You look at yourself every day and see what you turn into when you meet your maker. Sometimes I see an ugly old lady. Sometimes I see an ugly old lady when I look in the mirror, and I don't like it, so I go do something to make that ugly old lady look different. I see my grandma. She was an ugly old lady because she just did what she wanted whenever she wanted to at all times. And at the end of her life, it ate her up. She got cancer, and it literally ate her up. She looked like a little bird from a dark crystal the last time I saw her, before her life was ended. The 23rd of December, she left this earth. I don't even know if it was by her own choice or if it was by the choice of someone that couldn't stand to see her suffer. I don't know. I don't know the circumstances of my life, therefore I don't know the circumstances of other people's deaths. My name's Marge. I'm a heyoka. So I called today's talk drawing enemy fire. Drawing fire from the enemy. And how I've done that since I was a little girl. Because whenever anybody, I don't care what color they are, I don't care the gender of their skin, I don't care where their bloodline derives from. None of these things are ill consequence. What is consequential is what people do with who they are. Are they hurting people by even just watching them suffer? Because that's hurtful. When you don't help people and you have the means to help them, that's terribly hurtful. Or are they helping the downtrodden get in better positions of higher ground in their life so they can escape floods too. The way I look at the world is so much different than other people do. And I do these talks because maybe other people will hear, that was my dog walking by, will hear the things I say and they're like, you know what, I thought that before. I made friends like that. Oh, I've never thought that before. I just never met anyone else that thought that before. And every time I watched that video of Nepal where those people got washed away like ants, because we're fleas. We are smaller than fleas on a dog in comparison to what we are. We are a hindrance to the earth, and the earth is going to detox itself from all of those beast systems that have grown to a level of grossness that can't be rectified. We're past the point of no return. We're past the point of greed that it's going to take a mass cleansing to rectify the damage that's been done to the wholesome. Like, it's Year of the Horse and they're being mean to horses? You don't think there's going to be hell to pay for that? People don't think what they do is going to come back to them in a big way. That's the part that is tripping to me. I got to go get my... I'll be right back, Ma. I'll turn on the TV while I'll turn on the volume while I let Luna out. How arrogant am I, the beast, that thinks I will not be culpable for deeds I've done? Like I'm above it. Like culpabilities for other people, karmas for other people, for mere minions on this planet. It's not for me. I used to think that, and then the world taught me lessons that I would never forget. I gotta see. I just gotta go make sure Luna's alright. Oh, that was pretty. on, sweetness. What is that? Does someone, a bird, leave us a treat? Treasure. That's funny. All right, Ma. I'll come finish what I started.
I'm not guessing. Exactly what I'm telling.
That's my undertaking. I got my bag, so I get to start packing all these clothes away. I have about 8 loads of laundry to do, because it's all clean, but it's all none of it's folded up, so I want to wash it all and then take it out in the dryer and fold it up.
Dad called about Sarah not showing up. Their assistants
Gray, blue, and red. It's gonna be nasty. I don't know. They're making clouds outside. At least they're spraying stuff outside. Luna does that. It doesn't matter what time I take her out. As soon as I start talking, it's like a trip in her brain, a little flitch that says, "I want to go outside right now." And I'm like, "Okay, let's go do this." So time out. Now we're doing time in. That was the thing when you're a kid and you play games in the neighborhood with the other kids, and someone would have to stop and have to go to the bathroom. You go, "Time out," and then everybody freezes. The whole play freezes, everything. You just stop in motion and wait there until the person can come and play again. And now they changed the rules so much that there's so many less players. And then they cheat. You know how they have like Shakespeare on the green? Shakespeare on the green. That's no different than the playbook that they have in the NFL and college teams and all that stuff. It's all bogus. It's all whatever they can do to get you to focus on anything that is next to nothing of significance. Like the whole sports thing. I worked at Creighton University, and for 4 years I had to endure the culture of men, boys of all ages, from freshmen in college all the way to, I've been working at Creighton University for 25 years. Same mentality, okay? Same thought processes. They're all sitting around talking about fantasy worlds like fantasy football. And then here comes the bracket for March Madness. Like all this stuff that people are looking at, focusing their life force energy on, while terrible things are happening within proximity on their own campus. They don't care about that. Men are now protecting women if they're sitting in their house safe, picking their freaking fantasy football team. It's unuseful. Nothing good comes from fantasy football make-up realities. It's Santa Claus. People that believe in Santa Claus, they have the propensity to always want to believe in something because they can't believe in themselves. Once you start believing in yourself, you're going to be like, hey, my discernment calls BS. My discernment says that's not. Soon we're not going to do Santa because all these new kids being birthed to this earth, they're like I was, and they're calling BS. Like they're not going to buy into the B system. We'll just call it all-encompassing B because it's entertainment. It's anyone that signed a contract that said I'm willing to be less of who I I want to be and more of who you want me to be, so money can happen. Money's not real. I want to offer to the world ways that people can feel more insecure within themselves and learn practices and disciplines to keep themselves safe and not put yourself in harm's way. And then when that happens, more and more people become secure within themselves. We're fighting fake worlds less over there. We go to war because grown men do what I say. Don't you know who I am? Ball scratch, ball scratch. We go to war because those guys are conflicted within themselves. Because they were taught to hate the feminine in them. Like I was. See, I'm one of those weird freaks of nature. Those things that was made in a lab. There's no hope for me. There really isn't. All I can do is tell people my experience and my hope, my strength, and to continue on the trajectory until I take my last breath, and then write this incarnation off as a loss. Because I was born into a program, that whole Freemason program, and you hear all these people talk about it. 10 years I've been listening to people like Jesse Zaboter, freaking Kathy Fox, like all these people talking about people like me without ever talking to me. And that's just weird. That don't make no sense to me. So I share my story here. I interview myself. I was born in 1974. I'd always could tell like the story. I want to know my origin story, and it would be different all the time. So I never knew which story was true, and so many parts were left out because they didn't want me to know. And Mom would tell me stories like how they would put shots in her when she was pregnant with me. And they do that stuff to fry your endocrine system. Because if you think about it, the endocrine system is your cooling system, just like an automobile. I made slides on it and shared it on Twitter, I think. And if people can't calm themselves down, then they create all these agencies to arrest you, to keep you from hurting yourself and others because you can't. So they dysregulate our systems so they can throw us in jail, and they pay themselves, direct deposit, say $1,700 every 2 weeks, after taxes or whatever. And then you have this system of abusers because they got abused, and then some of us stop abusing other people because we got abused. Like my hip still pops. I've been doing these bicycle exercises in the morning. I'm trying to get over my physical self and work out trauma in places. And so I've been doing these exercises with my bicycle exercises, and it helps with my core because it just does. Anyway, my hip still pops at 52 because of what happened to me as a 10-month-old baby girl. It still pops. And I'm over the whole, I threw all the hooks out. 10 years I've thrown hooks out. I'm like, wow, that's an interesting story. My story's this, and nobody wants to hear my story. 10 years. Not one person has ever inboxed me and said, your story is remarkable. I would like to share it with my platform. Ever. And I'm so slow that it's taken me 10 years to figure out, wow. Wow. We live in a world that everybody has free will. And we don't have to get along and agree with everything that's on our platform, because inversal thinking is what gives us good ideas. Brainstorming. years, not one time. Not one. Not one. Not one. Nobody. Never emailed me and said, you know what, Marge? We should have a conversation. Never. That's wild. So that just tells me that they're not of the same heart space. None of them take care of their mom either. So, like, none of them do. None of them went to war. None of them hit. I don't think any of their hips pop. So, of course, I am not going to be seen by the mundane. It goes to show that like attracts like, and people that have lived mundane lives, they look at me and they're like, she's boring. Because they're boring. They got to go back and watch what day is it? How many football games are on today? Is that coming up? I remember I got to experience different seasons. Like I grew up watching, what was it? Snoopy and the Great Pumpkin and stuff like that, right? And they'd show it. And I would, every time you'd smell, like the air would smell the same and stuff like that. And I remember watching shows where there were hayrack rides, but they never had hayrack rides where I lived. So I was like, that's on a different planet. That's not on the Earth I live in. And then I ended up in a different planet in Omaha, in Bellevue, Nebraska, via Offutt Air Force Base, and they had hayrack rides. I went on one hayrack ride, and it was enough to last me a lifetime. That's the thing I look at, is I do experiences, and even if it's, you know, something that other people recognize as trivial, I just look at it as like, okay, I did that. I'll even buy a t-shirt sometime. I don't have to keep doing that thing every time. The idea of living in other people's loops just makes me want to poke out my own third eye. There's too many things that we can be doing that are of more significance. I see how remarkable life it is. I see it all the time. I just don't understand how other people don't see it. Maybe they will now. Maybe more of those people that are fixed on that picture in Tibet, where in Nepal, where all those people got washed away like ants. I would stay away from those people when I was a kid. Because I was surrounded by all these different personality types. So many had weird shadow aspects in them. And those are the ones that I stayed away from. The people that would, like, do mean things to other things that were living. Like, that would... I'll just leave it like that. Because I'm seeing all these pictures. I don't need to say it out loud. That would cause harm to animals and stuff like that. Those are the people I stay away from. And then if you notice, if people think real hard about who is who and what they were doing back when, they're the same personalities that are running the show now. They put people in positions of power to feed on the suffering so that they create more suffering. These things are so I don't understand why people don't get, where is it? Maybe they get it and they clearly see it like this, and they just don't know what they can do to help. So Ma, you and I want to go out and be some examples and show some people how easy it is to freaking lighten the hearts of the downtrodden. Like, there's just so many, and you don't have to like people to make them feel better. You don't. I don't have to like people to make sure that they're not freezing this winter. I'm already starting to think of, like, the go bags to give to people. Evidently, backpacks for travelers, even the hard travelers, they only last 6 months. So I need to find out the one kind that they last for a year for the people that just, like, throw their shit. Like, their whole life is in this bag. So it needs, and then I'm gonna put stuff in it like this. This is the stuff I fill people's shit with. I got a couple of these different sizes. So, like, these, fill their bags with these. and then like utensils and clean socks. You always need clean socks. People don't understand how imperative it is to take care of your feet. If you don't take care of your feet, you're a goner. You're not a goner. You gotta have support. If you don't have family and friends to help you out, then life is gonna be very, very hard for you. I take care of mom's feet. We're gonna soak mom's feet today. I use this clay mud stuff that draws toxins out of her feet. Feet are crucial to your way of being. Every organ in your body is connected to your feet. So you don't take care of your feet, yeah, you're gonna be, your pancreas, your freaking, all systems will be impacted in a negative way, and people don't even, so we on a regular basis soak mom's feet. And I go in between her toes, and we have our own regimen because you got to keep the dead skin off so the new skin can rejuvenate. Mama, right? And she was born with 2 club feet, and they hacked up her feet. She had 5, 6 surgeries on each feet? 3, 4? 1 is too many. She was a guinea pig, so they did all these weird experimental surgeries on her. She was born and not raised she was born in Cuesta and then raised she spent the 3 years in an orphanage. I don't know. Even Sloan Bella only spent 10 months in an orphanage. I don't know if anybody, she's such a remarkable lady because she's still smiling. And what's even more remarkable, she's 75. Ma, you still got your own teeth. Want to say hi? Blue, red. And a dude slammed her head in a car door when she was 39. So I just man, people could, I guess, still have enough juice in themselves to be kind to others, even though the whole world is taken from so much from them. Come on, man. Quit waiting for somebody to come save you. This one I want to use to make, I have used actually to make coffee. I got a coffee pot and I'll go out and I want to have coffee talk, bring a place where, hey, you want to come, tell me about how you want to see the place where we live. And let's see, because my hardest part is trying to get through to the people. When you live in such an old place, that's the thing, is it cracks me up that mom was born in Cuesta. So all these people can't say that we're outsiders. They can't because we're family. So if they denounce our relation, then they're denouncing their relation to all of their relatives, and they don't want to be frauds, do they? So I'm figuring out how, I'm even I guess I have the email address to the receptionist of the mayor. See, I've done so many pony shows. I was in the military. I've been part of so many ceremonies. Stand here and wait. So this guy up front looks important, but the guy up front looking important, they don't know how to jack up a car to change a tire. So I don't find their information valuable nor true. Because when you're telling people how things are, it should come from a place that you've done it yourself, not a spectator sport like I see the world. I say men, and it's in women too. Because see, one of my greatest gifts and my greatest curse in this incarnation is that they made me a he-she. They made me a freak of nature. They took the course over the natural course of my life. It doesn't matter if I was gonna be born a dude. They said, nah, we're gonna make her a chick. So sometimes I'm a really ugly chick when my dude comes out. And so, because look how many men in the world deny the feminine in them, and then they're ugly and they want to go bomb them and drop over there, and before you know it, 1 in 5 need a little blue pill to be a man. I never do. So the positive part of that is I've always paid attention to pop culture and the program since I was a little kid, of all things, like what everyone was focused on, male and female, while the majority were just focusing on what their program was. See, because my program was a broader spectrum. I was supposed to pay attention to everything, and they're like, you're just going to pay attention to sports, and we'll throw some ego at you. It's like Active Directory for planet Earth. We're like in a big old huge Active Directory. And some people have more access than others. People that are related to people that are designated of some sort of significance that go with the program. My whole life, ever since I've been going to movies, Mom, I was a little girl. Mom took me to my first movie. I was probably 2 years old. We went to the Morro Bay Theater, and it was maybe 3 years old. Jesus Christ, the Superstar movie, right? And I like musicals because I'm a high frequency person and all that stuff. And I got up and I went and laid in the aisle on my stomach like I was in my living room watching TV. My brother was so embarrassed. The usher came up. Mom was keeping an eye on me. You knew where I was, right? Baby. And she did. I mean, I was out of the way. I was in no way, but still the usher came up and said, it's a fire hazard. You need to come get your kid. And so Mom did. Then I sat uncomfortably in a chair. And my brother was just mortified. And that's pretty much set the precedence of until now. You know, they say this is how it is, and I find a loophole, and then they try, you know, it's about dominance and control. And when people are free spirits that are sovereign souls, spiritual beings having a human experience, you know, just based on that, you shouldn't be hurting anybody. Yet, there's all these principalities that exist. There's all these negative attachments. People drink, they get negative attachments. They have intercourse with people. Any randos, they get negative attachments. They get disease, dis-ease. They feel bad about themselves. Like that dude. I heard, okay, it pretty much summed up. When people tell you how they are, believe them. I listened to this dude defending the owner of the 49ers for just looking for a place to put it. That's what I heard this morning. You know, men that deny the feminine in themselves because they're predominantly feminine, but they don't want the world to know that they want to be little spoon, they overcompensate in the grossness of what it is to be a man. We go to war because men in charge are conflicted within themselves. I was a naive woman in the military, so it was like going away on trips with dudes where I found out how dudes really were. Like, I mean, I knew how dudes were, but like dudes in places that they're supposed to be defenders of America, and they're telling me, they're giving me educations about what pegging is because that's what they want their wives to do to them. And these are dudes that are like macho. Like, I'm a man, but yeah, I like it when she, you know, because that's where their yay spot is in their tuchus. So that's why so many, oh, I'm not, they're like, they'll say words like, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. My brother did it for years. And I believed him because I'm like, well, why are people going to lie about that? I don't see any reason to lie about that. And then they escalate things because they do way worse. Like, I had a couple girlfriends. One of them just got married. See, that's the thing, is I'm a guinea pig. Girls date me, and then I ruin women for them forever. So if you want to be a heterosexual woman and you're on the fence, come hang out with me, because I don't play the same games. I don't play games. That's the thing. And women that like to play games because they like to control and dominate, I'll see where they're doing it all the time. I find that it be an imbalance. Like, it's a yin yang thing. I got too much Pisces in me to not recognize that. And Gemini. Half my sign is, oh wait, Sagittarius? Are they the scales? Are Sagittarius the scales? Are they the thing for the scales? Is the Sagittarius gift the scales? Actually, here, we'll just do this. Show me the signs for all 12 astrology signs. Show me the pictures, the gifts that go with the signs. I'm all mutable, so I'm go with the flow. It's hard for me to stick with something for a really long time, so that's why it's extra spectacular that I've been a stay-at-home daughter since. When did I stop getting W-2s, Mom? 2017? See, it says gift. It don't hear me right. Oh, the scales are Libra. Okay, that's right. Okay, so Archer. Mom, how could I make such a silly mistake? So I have Mars 23 degrees, and Saturn, like on my shoulder, I have that 29 degrees. What's that word? Anoretic degree in the 12th house with my South Node in Gemini. And then I have this, I'm just starting to get my chart, like memorize it now. And then my Pisces, which is 2 signs, are the fish. I have Mars, Jupiter, and Venus in Pisces. So I am other Earth. I have no Earth in my chart. I have these theories that us without Earth, we're the aliens. And if you look at her chart, we're like related to grid points on the planet that are like. I construed myself as an alien for several reasons. I was born in San Bernardino, so technically I'm an alien. It's so close. My father's bloodline is from Arkansas, a bunch of witches. In no, not Arkansas, San Antonio. That's where my grandma was born. And then left when she was 12, and then her family moved to Los Angeles. And then from Los Angeles, my grandma found her escape route, which was my grandpa, a Freemason. See, they had arranged marriages and clubs too. My grandparents only knew each other 10 days. Grandma was Sagittarius, and Grandpa was a Leo, so they were hot for each other. And then they made my dad an Aries, so all of the heat that they had in themselves came out with my dad. And then they didn't want to have to be held accountable for not being able to control themselves, so they let my dad do whatever he wanted. And my dad is an Aries, so he watched my grandma was a strong Sagittarius woman, and my grandpa was an alcoholic Leo, and because he let his demons win, my grandma treated him, she got her real estate license at 40, or driver's license at 40, and then soon after a real estate license, because she knew that her husband wasn't going to give her the life she wanted, so she went out to get it herself. And then my dad looked at, like, my grandpa is weak, and then because he's stifling out the feminine. And then he saw my mom, a cute little thing, and then because he's a predator, Aries, imbalances predatory behavior. And then found my mom, who's Sagittarius, who was looking for a man to take care of her because she came from an orphanage, and that was the program that she was given, that you find a man, get married, settle down, have kids. And then Mom got married into this Freemason family, and then so they could have another son, my brother, And then so they had me, the Aries, so a Sagittarius. So I'm all the fire from generations of that wasn't tamed. Except Mom taught me how to tame all of what is in me. Because that's my emotions, all of my anger, all of my frustration, all of my happy, all of my joy, all of everything, all of the shadow, all of the light, contain it with what is in you. Because the beast system will see all that you are and lock you away. Because they did that to her. They put her in the Atascadero State Mental Hospital. Look at this lady. She's not. This is what my mom looked like when they locked my mom away in the Atascadero State Mental Hospital. This is the age. This is what. She didn't look crazy. She wasn't crazy. She told the truth. She told the truth. And they locked her away. If she was allowed to be born and raised in Cuesta, her life would have been so much different. She wasn't given that opportunity because she was born with 2 club feet. So I've been taking her around because she has 5 planets in Sagittarius. I'm not real sure on her birth time. I actually, you know what? Her year might be wrong too. I don't know. There are churches we can go up to that might have record, and I did find out recently that it's her mother was Priscilla Cisneros. Is there any record of a Priscilla Cisneros from Cuesta, New Mexico, or areas roundabouts there? I have a history, a book from Arroyo Hondo that has Cisneros in it. You know, I think everybody deserves a little. Because there's so many people that designate it all for them. And that if people that they don't like and that drink and do drugs have something, that it takes away from them in some way. I have a very backwards way of thinking. There's a way to make people that's so weird. Now it's saying I can't look for it. Yet in other threads, it has given me information. See, it's technology's moody. And when you're in parts of Active Directory that I get access tonight a lot. I get a lot of access tonight. Don't let her know. She'll tell the whole world. She has a big mouth. People said that my whole life. You have a big mouth. What does that mean? What does that mean? You do terrible things, I say it, and then the world knows all the terrible things that you do, and you don't want to, be put in a place where people go that do terrible things to. So all these people I'm going to go back into an early childhood deep dive. As soon as we get done with this talk here, I'm going to put it on. I'm a part of the program, like I was saying earlier. I was a part of the cult. Like they try to break our brains. See, just like men that deny their feminine, they get all mad and act out and join the military and want to kill things and stuff like that, blow things up, whatever. It's the same thing with freaks of nature like me. It's no different. It's what ain't no fury like a woman scorned. Worse than that is make a masculine, like they create monsters. I see how they make monsters and how they've been trying to get me to succumb to my emotions my whole life, and I'm just like, whatever. Whatever. I don't have control in this life. They all have control. They evidently they don't have control in their lives either, because none of them use their self-will to even want to have a conversation with me. So maybe these data prints are just historical events of someone that doesn't even exist anymore. Maybe that's a thing. Who knows? We come from a sum of all parts, right, Mom?
Right.
So some of us draw fire. Some of us, we draw who the creeps are because they'll come after us. And I'm okay with that because at least they're not picking on somebody else. So I'll take a bully. I was thinking about that this morning, like all the times that bullies have hit me and pinched me and kicked me, and because they're like, hey, you want to play a game? You like playing games? Yeah. How about who could take the most abuse? Those were games that people would have me play when I was a kid. Who could suffer the most without showing the world that you were suffering? These were actually games that were played with me when I was a little girl, and I would win. Because they'd pinch me, and they'd dig at me, and they'd slam me. Even men that were trained by the military to protect women were and I'm just like, oh, are we playing? And then, like, they'd take it too far, and then I would, and then they would get embarrassed in front of their friends. So, all of that, is coming out. All those people that like do weird stuff to cause harm to other people, it's coming out. And they're your own community. It don't matter what's happening over there. It don't matter what's happening in DC. Who cares about a building I don't never care to visit? I don't ever want to go to the White House. My indigenous blood is like, dude, the colonials, the colonists have been winning. And I have both of those bloodlines in me. I have the indigenous mixed with the lizard people. So that's why I'm a throwaway. That's what my brother was part of the program, and people like me, the not so neurotypical, we're the ones that are crazy. You're crazy. Okay, give me 3 examples of something I did that was crazy. You did this, this, and this. All right, now I was 15 when I did those things. Name things in 2026 that am not the same person. And when people say you're crazy, they're just deflecting, they're projecting. Now I can give when I say you're an abuser, when I give people descriptive words, I also have stories and several times pictures of instances of stories how they were abusive, or they were, what kind of grown man does this? Oh, the kind of grown man I've been related to my whole life. That's how I know what trash heaps are, because I have never had a decent example of what a good man is. Never, not one. People are like, I have a good dad. I'm like, he might be good to you, but at work, he's treating me like shit. Because I saw him hitting on somebody else, and I'm like, aren't you married? Don't you have kids? Wouldn't they be disappointed if they knew how you really were? Because that's what America is a big old Ponzi scheme. That never added up to anything. And I like to be able to put my words into pictures using technology. So I'm on a meme roll. People don't think my memes are funny because they're not smart enough to get them. Because they're part of the agencies. They got a cush life and a big old belly from sitting on their ass and doing nothing for decades, while people like me were out here, actually doing things in their own communities. And the funny thing about it is wherever I go, there I am. So it doesn't matter what town I live in. I want the outcome to be the same. It doesn't matter if I'm in Nebraska. It doesn't matter if I'm in Oregon, California, Arizona. I'm thinking all the places I've lived. Or New Mexico. Everywhere I live, I want to make sure wherever I am, people that have been rejected by life, us throwaways, have a place to do our laundry, charge their devices, take a shower. I keep seeing these content creators that are like, I haven't taken a shower in a month. This is the first shower and it's the greatest thing in the world. I want to give people that and do their laundry, charge their devices, make a good meal. If their car needs repair, we'll go through an inspection. I will teach the people how to look and maintain their car and what to look for and things to maintain their stuff, and then like help them get fixed and back on the road, like a pit stop. Because it's only good. Okay, we had our own Nepal in South Carolina. As so many perceptions know that, like, I get that people don't get it don't matter to them until it happens to them, because there's a lot of stuff that it didn't matter to me until it happened to me. Now it really matters to me, you know. So I get it. The thing of it is there's this energetic calibration that's happening, that too many people had it good and way too many people had it sucky. And so there's this like playing field. I woke up this morning, I felt like I was drunk. Before I even opened a phone, before I looked at a device. Because there's things that happen that tell me that more have entered the no place space. And that's what happened in Nepal. That all these people died at the same time. Their dash ended at the same time. All these people with different start dates. Same thing happened in 9/11 when we did the controlled demolition. We're coming up on the 25 years of that, and that makes my stomach turn, because I was at Offutt where George Bush came to, and I actually gave him the heyoka salute out the 8-shop hangar door that day. Because I'm like, dude, that guy's been a Nepo actor cokehead since he came on my radar. Like, everybody knew what he did in Mount Shasta with his frat boy buddies. And then my brother became a frat boy. I don't want to play. I want to know what ranches are selling are allowing access. What are they just going on public? I don't want to know. I don't need to know. It's Year of the Horse. They are taking out all the light of horses, and it's here. They don't understand what kind of karma's coming to them. They're going to have their own Nepals, because Creator will do that. If Creator sees how much you are trying to be God for power, money, and prestige, Creator will show you how insignificant you are. And it's like every time I see a natural disaster, I'm reminded about the time that me and Ma went out in Atlantis. So we live in places, I don't want to go out like that again no more. So I'm going to live in a deliberate way where I'm going to try to bring more light into this incarnation, and less hell, rage, frickin' wrath on earth bullshit. All that begets men is blue pills, because now we're at 1 in 5 need a little blue pill to be a man. And then they get mad at me because they're like, oh, she's masked, she's all the man I ain't. I see how my wife is looking at her. She used to look at me like that. Then they get mad at me, and I don't think like that. Like, people have actually been mad at this one dude I went to school with this guy at probably 3 different schools, and he never remembered. And I ended up working with them at Chevy's Mexican restaurant in Redding, California, in like 92, 93, 90, yes, like the 90s, early 90s, mid 90s. And one day, like, we hung out. I was cool with I was cool with his wife. We were like buddies. We like hang out, drink, smoke, whatever. Nothing weird. Nothing weird. I'm not into weird stuff like that. I'm not a swinger. I'm not, so they never gave indications that they were either. And one day he did a 180 and started like being jerky and stuff, and I was like, what's up, I asked his wife, like, what? Why is your husband being a dick to me? And she's like, he's being rude to you? And she just like snickers. I said, yeah. I said, he's just like snide, like not cool. And she's like, that's funny. He had a sex dream about, or yeah, he had a sex dream about you. And I was like, just add it to the pile. Just add it to the pile that people have thoughts about me and then treat me negatively based on their thoughts. Based on their thoughts. And you can feel when people feel like, or looking at you like people are creepy. They're just creepy. I don't even look at, that's why it's just better, just don't look at people. I just have these little energetic horse blinds. I'm just like, no. Mom. Are you happy, lady? Yes. Mom's got her vest on today. We put her vest on last night instead of her long sweater. So we're getting some oxygen to your skin. And then I think we might go right up in the mountains. They have all these state roads and stuff with these turnouts up here, like, and the possibilities are endless to just run off to. And then I got a little jackery, so I could bring like a little, I want to get like, because you can't, I don't think there's a fireman right now, now that I think about it. I should bring my rake up, and then we could do like cookout kind of thing, like, because man, Mom, we're surrounded by all this gloriousness, right? We do have a little old dog. I don't like leaving her for a long time. And the other day I left Mom, 2 hours I was gone. I came home and the TV was on the main menu, and I was just like, Mom has her own life, has her own incarnation too, and she was completely fine. There was nothing, right, Mom? It was just like, the TV wasn't on. She was still doing laps. She does laps. She gets antsy and she does laps. So, whenever we go out, we just try to add to the world in a positive way, even when we see the ugly. Try not to be part of the ugly, because there's plenty of ugly. Sometimes I'll be the ugly to draw the fire, though, to draw the fire from the bullies. Because at least if they're picking on me, they're not picking on somebody else out there.